Coming up on Hoosier Sports Night, Hoosier fans got a first look at the IU men's basketball team, who made their first appearance at Assembly Hall last Friday.
And volleyball drops the loss against Purdue, but picks up a win against Ohio State. This is Hoosier Sports Night.
Hello and welcome to Hoosier Sports Night. I'm Mike Badrov.
And I'm Ethan Bonner. Mike, how about all of IU athletics? I feel like every sport is clicking right now at the right time, getting ready for postseason play.
Of course, and it's great to be at the center of it all, including IU football, as they now improve to 7-0 on the season as they just beat Michigan State 38-13 on homecoming. Let's take a look at the highlights. Right now, we're going to get some IU fans for homecoming and some Spartan fans coming down to support their team. And Hoosier the Bison, of course, our furry friend. But we're now here on the field as Mendoza is going to find E.J. Williams Jr. trucking through some Spartan defenders, getting the first touchdown of the game. Mendoza's fired up. But of course, the Spartans have to respond. And it's going to be a pass to Nick Marsh, who's going to run right through the end zone. But just wait, as the Spartans score, can you smell what Kurt the Rock Signetti is cooking? It's going to be a pass to Elijah Surratt, as he's going to just waltz right into the end zone. And you thought you might want to cover him, but Waffle House runs 24 hours. And of course, it's not going to stop there with the Selly. We're going to move right in to a run. One mission, one ball, one goal. Get to the end zone as Kaylon Black runs it in for the third touchdown for the Hoosiers. Doesn't stop there though. Hold on. Wait a minute. Mendoza shows off why he's the Heisman favorite with a wide open dot to Omar Cooper Jr. for the fourth touchdown. Mendoza celebrating with the team. Love to see it. And if you thought it was going to stop there, just wait. Hold on for just a second, as it's going to be a wonderful pass to Elijah Surratt as he reels in his second touchdown of the game. And he's heating up, and Mendoza's fired up, and the rain will not stop the Hoosiers from pouring on the score. 7-0 for the first time in consecutive seasons, and they are now second on the AP poll. The Hoosiers are back at home as they look to remain undefeated this Saturday against the UCLA Bruins.
Darian DeVries and his new Hoosier squad took the floor at Assembly Hall on Friday to face off against Marion in their first exhibition game of the season. Our Josie Broyles has the story.
The IU men's basketball team faced off against Marion University in their first exhibition game of the season and were victorious.
I thought the guys did a great job really all night, just moving the ball, sharing the ball, take what the defense gave us. And we got a lot of guys that can shoot it. And I thought, we got a great kind of distribution of threes as well. So,
Marion head coach Pat Nite returns to familiar territory. The son of the late IU legend Bobby Nite brought some Hoosier blood back to Assembly Hall. Family ties run deep here at Assembly Hall. Tucker DeVries, son of Darren DeVries, absolutely dominated the court tonight for his first appearance at Assembly Hall.
We rely on a lot with some of his, playmaking as well, coming off of ball screens and things, and then also being able to utilize him on the moves. I thought he had a nice, solid floor game tonight.
Tucker DeVries led the way with 23 points, shooting 7 for 9 from the court, 5 for 7 from 3, and 4 for 5 at the line.
It's great to have a guy like Tucker. He's been playing in this offense for, a long time. He's the guy, he a great leader on and off the court, so.
The Hoosiers will be back next week to take on Baylor in Indianapolis for their next exhibition game. For IUSTV Sports, this is Josie Broyles.
The Hoosiers will be back this Sunday to take on Baylor in Indianapolis for their second exhibition game of the season.
The Indiana field hockey team had a very successful weekend. The Hoosiers started on Friday in College Park, Maryland, where they upset the number 10 ranked Terrapins 2-1 in a shootout. Although Maryland found a way to score the first goal in the first minute of the game, Indiana freshman Molly Stutt managed to tie the game in the fourth quarter. The game went into 2 overtimes, where in the second overtime, Indiana was able to score and finally win the game. This is the first time in program history that Indiana has beaten Maryland, as well as Indiana's first win over a ranked opponent in their 2025 season. Continuing their winning streak, the Hoosiers beat Penn State at University Park 3-1. Junior Inez Garcia Prado scored the Hoosiers' first 2 goals, with sophomore Charlotte Glasper scoring the third in the fourth quarter. The Hoosiers move on to play the Ohio State this Friday at Deborah Tobias, which will be streamed on Big Ten+.
The Indiana men's hockey team went up to Wisconsin this weekend, and I think it's safe to say it was a weekend for the books. The Hoosiers dominated during their 3-game road trip facing Michigan State, Concordia, and Trine, scoring a whopping 15 goals over the course of those 3 games, winning 5-1, 5-2, and 5-1 respectively. Those 15 goals were spread out among 6 different players. And here's the kicker. All 6 of them registered multiple goals for the Hoosiers, with graduate forward Andrew Chambers leading the charge with 4. While every game is meaningful, the one that meant the most for IU this weekend was their match against the Trine Thunder, who they were shut out by to open the season in September. Indiana looked like a whole different animal this time around, going up 1-0 at the end of the first period off a shot by junior forward Davis Yeagers, and continued to press their feet on the gas through the final buzzer. The Hoosiers are looking to continue the momentum tomorrow night in Bloomington against the Louisville Cardinals. Coming up after the break, we crown this week's Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week.
And of course, you have to take a look at Indiana volleyball as they take the 1 against Ohio State but lose to Purdue. Welcome back to Hoosier Sports Night.
Joining us in studio for this week's Hoosier Highlight is IUSTV sports reporter Keegan Walker. Keegan?
Thanks, Ethan. This week's Hoosier Highlight athlete is Bella Haggerty of the Indiana women's soccer team. Bella scored her first career goal this past Sunday against Penn State when she found the back of the net off of a corner kick from sophomore midfielder Maggie Ledwith in the 58th minute of the contest. Her go-ahead goal put the Hoosiers up 1-0. And in a season where Indiana has had a whopping 5 ties in Big Ten Conference matches, they were able to continue their momentum and capture their second Big Ten Conference win of the season by a score of 2-1. And more importantly, they win their first match against the Nittany Lions in this millennium, as their last win came way back in 1996, when the Cream and Crimson took the W in a close 1-0 matchup. Haggerty and the Hoosiers look to finish the regular season on a strong note when they face the Iowa Hawkeyes this Sunday at our beloved Bill Armstrong Stadium. I'm Keegan Walker, and that was your Hoosier Highlight Athlete of the Week. Sending it back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Keegan. Indiana volleyball had a roller coaster of a week as they started out by losing to number 11 Purdue at Gainbridge Fieldhouse for the Monon Spike matchup. Our Mike Badroff has the recap.
IU volleyball and a giant crowd of 6,400 people were fired up and ready to go make history for the first ever volleyball match at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And what better game to do it than the Monon Spike rivalry matchup between IU and Purdue. And while the Hoosiers came ready to go, Purdue dominated the net, punishing IU's defense for any mistake, and swiftly took the first set victory. The Hoosiers would then rally together and bring the second set victory in, but in the process they lost sophomore middle blocker Ella Borsama to an injury, stifling momentum for the team. In the end, the Hoosiers played hard and made it a tight matchup hitting above 250%, but Purdue proved why they were ranked 12th and would win the next 2 sets, 20-25 and match set 21-25, taking the Monon Spike home.
We're 14-3. There won't be a lot of crying tonight. I'll see my family and say, hey, we didn't get it done, and then you worry about Ohio State on Sunday. And that's the nature of the Big Ten. Sometimes you get boat raced by good teams, and sometimes you find a way to win. But, I'm proud that we took the shot at it.
The Hoosiers don't have much time to rest and will come home to take on Ohio State this Sunday. For IUSTV Sports, I'm Mike Badroff.
But that wasn't it for the Hoosiers, as they bounced back with a gritty win over the Ohio State Buckeyes on Sunday. Indiana won the first set by a small margin of 3 points, but the Buckeyes won the second set by 7. This minor setback seemed to light a fire under the Hoosiers, who mounted an offensive attack led by freshman outside hitter Jaden Jager with 16 kills, and senior outside hitter Avery Tatum with 10, who became the second Hoosier in program history to reach 1,000 career kills. The Hoosiers went on to win the next 2 sets to clinch the match. Their win over Ohio State improves Indiana's record to 15-3, and they will host Minnesota and Northwestern at home this weekend.
This past Sunday, the IU women's soccer team faced a familiar Big Ten foe. Our Lauren Wainwright has the recap. The Hoosiers will wrap up Big Ten play on Sunday as they face the Iowa Hawkeyes here in Bloomington.
It was a dark and rainy Sunday here at Bill Armstrong Stadium as the Indiana Hoosiers battled with the Penn State Nittany Lions. The first half showed both teams making adjustments and getting used to the weather.
Unfortunately, they're used to it, right? I don't think, this is not a group that will make excuses for things, which again I appreciate about them, right? Things go good, it's like, hey, it comes off the back of hard work. Things don't go well, it's like, okay, well, what do we need to do to get better?
Aggressive play on both sides of the ball saw many players falling to the ground. We even saw Amelia White of Penn State handed a yellow card for her aggressive play on number 17, Olivia Rush.
I mean, we're going to play rain or shine, so it didn't matter if it was sunny or raining. We're going to come out here and play the best and play for each other. So.
In the second half, the Hoosiers flipped a switch. Number 1, Bella Haggerty, opened the scoring for the Hoosiers with a header off the corner kick from Maggie Ledwith. Shortly after their first goal, Paige Stroner extended the lead with an unassisted goal, which looked to have secured Indiana the win.
When we're here, we're fighting for the bill, we're fighting for Indiana, we're playing for school, so it's just so special whenever we step on.
However, late in the second, Penn State found a burst of energy, pushing the Hoosier defense and ultimately ruining the shutout after Julia Reich put the ball in the back of the net.
It was like, all right, we gave up the goal late, and it's like, what's our response going to be? And I thought the ladies did a much better job in just, just understanding, okay, this happens. It's what our response is next is really the most important thing.
After a gloomy day here in Bloomington, the Hoosiers secured the 2-1 victory over the Penn State Nittany Lions as they look to build more momentum towards the end of their season.
We talk about what it means to be a Hoosier, and a lot of that is like you show up day in and day out for your team, for this program, for the university, regardless of what the outcome might be.
With IUSTV Sports, I'm Lauren Wainwright.
The Hoosiers will wrap up Big Ten play on Sunday as they face the Iowa Hawkeyes here in Bloomington.
Jude Well-Michel got his first Big Ten start for Indiana men's soccer on Tuesday night as the Hoosiers hosted Wisconsin. Our Josh Pose has the recap.
The Indiana men's soccer team was back in familiar grounds of Bill Armstrong Stadium on Tuesday night when they hosted the Wisconsin Badgers. The starting 11 remained mostly the same as it has been for conference play with a slight change. Freshman goalkeeper Jude Well-Michel made his Big Ten debut.
We just felt we needed to get Jude, and Jude has a couple different skills. Right now, we have both in a really good place, and that's where we want them to be.
He's been just an extreme blessing to have in the back. With his size and his presence, he's a real good voice for us. Gives a lot of confidence for me in the back line, just being able to work with him.
After starting the season opener against Clemson, the Montreal, Quebec, Canada native didn't see the pitch until last week's match against Kentucky. He started later in the week against Hanover, but the freshman returned to action for his first look at conference play. As his teammates in front of him piled on goals, Michel kept it mostly clean, conceding just one goal late in a 4-1 Indiana victory. Following the IU victory, Michel moves to 2-0-1 in his young career. He and the Hoosiers will travel out east to College Park, Maryland to take on the Terrapins on Friday night. From Jerry Yeagley Field at Bill Armstrong Stadium, I'm Josh Pose, IUSTV Sports.
The Hoosiers' Friday evening tilt with Maryland gives the Hoosiers a prime opportunity to play its way into the 4-team Big Ten tournament. Follow myself and the rest of IUSTV men's soccer beat reporters for all things IU men's soccer.
Women's tennis competed in the ITA Regionals in Knoxville, Tennessee. Here's how they did. For singles, Nicole Tedescu won 6-2, 6-1. Elizabeth Dunak won 6-0, 7-6. Amia Sori won 6-0, 6-4. Helani Williams also won 6-0, 6-0. Tedescu would win another match 4-6, 6-2, 6-2. Amia Sori also won 6-2, 6-1. Nicole and Amia would advance to the Sweet 16. Nicole would get defeated in the 6-6 in the Sweet 16. Amia Sori would also get defeated in the Sweet 16, losing 3-6-6. Their next invite will be the Michigan State invite on October 31st through November 2nd. That's all for tennis.
Before we go, our Kenny Bruntlett breaks down what's happening this weekend in Hoosier sports. Kenny?
Thanks, guys. The temperatures may be dropping here in Bloomington, but if you're an IU sports fan, bundle up and get ready for another exciting weekend of cream and crimson action. To get things rolling this weekend, Friday night, women's volleyball is set to host the number 20 Minnesota Golden Gophers, and the number 14 ranked men's soccer team takes a trip out to College Park, Maryland, where they will go head-to-head against the Terrapins. Then, on Saturday, the newly ranked number 2 Hoosiers take the gridiron right here at Memorial Stadium. The Hoosiers are looking for their 13th straight home victory, but Jerry Neuheisel and the UCLA Bruins will try and add yet another huge upset to their resume. And to wrap up the weekend on Sunday, women's volleyball will host Northwestern at 1 p.m. in Wilkinson Hall. And after tearing up the court against Marion last week, the IU men's basketball faces their first real challenge as they will take on the Baylor Bears in an exhibition game at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. That's all I got for this week's Candy Stripe calendar, so until next time, back to you guys.
And that's our show for the week. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IUSTV Sports to keep up with all the latest in IU athletics. For our production crew behind us, I'm Ethan Bonner.
And I'm Mike Badroff. We'll see you next week.